Hello and welcome back to Pathshala. Previous session, we will discuss the respiration process in plants where we got know that each and every cell of the plant respires, but they don't have any respiratory organ or specific respiratory part in their body. But animals do have a specific part or a specific organ in their body that fully dedicated in respiration process. So our today's topic is exchange of gases in animals. The exchange of gases in animals takes place through different types of organs in different grades of animals. The simple is that the oxygen and the intake of oxygen and the elimination of carbon dioxide takes place via the diffusion process, but they have a specific part in their body to that to perform that action. So first discuss in the lower order organisms. So in lower order organisms or in unicellular organisms. So here is the chart. First one is the animal names along with their respiratory organ. So first one is the unicellular organisms like the amoeba or euglena or paramecium, etc., and some multicellular organisms also, and some multicellular lower grade multicellular organisms like the hydra, then the sponges, then the round worm or the tapeworm, etc. They don't have any organ in their body. The unicellular organisms contains only one single cell, so it is not possible in the single cell that they have or they possess a organ inside it. So in amoeba, euglena or in hydra, the multicellular organisms or the roundworm do the respiration process via their cell membrane. So what happens is, let us discuss in the case of amoeba. So amoeba don't have any definite structure, we all know. So the oxygen that is present in air simply diffuses in via the cell membrane, and when the oxygen is taken in via the cell membrane, it is utilized in the process of respiration, and the carbon dioxide produced as a byproduct of respiration or via the metabolism process simply diffuses out through this cell membrane. So this is a simple diffusion process that occurs in this cell amoeboidal cell or in unicellular cells like amoeba, euglena, paramecium. The multicellular cells like in hydra and in sponges or in roundworm, tapeworm, they contain a moist skin. So in case of Hydra, it contains, or they do have, a moist skin layer, and the cell membrane present in the outer surface takes in the oxygen from the atmosphere via this diffusion process, and the carbon dioxide produced in different like the in respiration process is a byproduct, or in metabolism process, simply diffuses out via the cell membrane. Next is, or we will talk about the next step, or in next case. Second one is respiration through the skin cell. So in lower grade animals like in leeches or in earthworm, what happens is they do have a moist skin layer. So their skin surface actually takes up the oxygen that is present in the air, and their skin, or beneath their skin layer, there is a blood capillary layer also present beneath their skin surface. So the oxygen that is present in the air simply diffuses in through the skin surface and gets in entry and or enter into this blood capillary, and via this blood vessel the oxygen reaches to each and every cell of the earthworm and leeches. And in the same way, the carbon dioxide or the waste material of the, or the byproduct of the respiration process, simply diffuses out or simply eliminated via the same process. The next topic, or the next one, is the respiration through the spiracle or the tracheal system. So the insects, the largest group of animals that present in Earth's surface. So in all insects, like in flies, mosquitoes, or other worms that belongs to the insecta group or insect group. So all insects respire through the trachea or the tracheal system. So their body contains a tube-like projections that is known as the tracheal tube or the tracheal system, and there are small openings in this tracheal system and their skin. These openings are known as spiracles. So the air or the oxygen present in the air simply gets in via this spiracle into the tracheal system, and the oxygen then circulates throughout the body or even reaches to each and every part of the body cells. And similarly, the carbon dioxide that produced in the body eliminated via the spiracle into the outer atmosphere. So the all insects have their respiratory organ, specific respiratory organ, and the name is trachea, or the system is known as tracheal system. and the opening of the trachea is known as spiracle. So it is important what is spiracle. Then we will talk the next group, that is the aquatic animals. Fourth is the aquatic animals. Aquatic animals means the fishes or prawns, etc. They have gills for their respiratory process. So, the gills are actually the comb-like structures that contains with rich blood supply. The oxygen that are dissolved in the water simply passes through the gill slits and the oxygen diffuses into the blood capillaries that are present in gills, and the oxygen is taken up and the oxygen circulates in the whole body via the blood system. Let us discuss in the case of fishes. So, in fishes, there are 4 gill slits or 4 comb-like gill slit structures present in each side of its head portion, and the gill area is covered by a bony surface that is known as operculum. So, there are like this comb-like structures. There are these comb-like structures known as gill slits. The oxygen present in the water area, the oxygen present in water simply diffuses into this gill area. The blood vessels are present, like this is, if this is gill, then the blood vessels are present in the gill slits to take up this oxygen process. The blood vessel, the I actually draw the blood vessel through this reading. So the blood vessel present in the gill slits, simply oxygen present in water simply diffuses into this gill, and the oxygen is taken up by these blood capillaries, and the blood capillaries actually transport this oxygen. Once the oxygen is taken up, the hemoglobin that is present in the blood cell or in the red blood cell actually combine with the oxygen and circulates the oxygen in whole body or in each and every part or each and every cell of the body of the fish's body or in prawn's body, and via the same process the carbon dioxide is eliminated out. The oxygen present in this water surface is very low, and the concentration gradient of oxygen present in atmospheric air is slightly higher. So, the aquatic animals, the rate of respiration in aquatic animal is faster than in land animals. Next group is the vertebrate group except the fishes. So, the last group is amphibians, reptiles, then the birds, mammals have lungs as their respiratory organ. All the 4 groups contain the lungs as their respiratory organ. So lungs have very small suck-like structure in it. As in case of human respiratory system, the lungs that are the lungs contain very small sac-like structures or balloon-like structures. So these are actually the unit of lung. So these are actually the units of lung, and it is known as the alveoli. So the oxygen present in air is taken up by a specific respiratory route, and the unit present in lung, that is alveoli, is full with the oxygen, and the capillaries beside this air sac takes up the oxygen from this air sac and transport this oxygen in the whole body. The hemoglobin present in this blood cell combines with the oxygen and circulates this oxygen in each and every part of the body. In the same process, the carbon dioxide that is produced as a byproduct of respiration and metabolism process simply eliminated out from our body via the same route. So the higher grade of animals or invertebrates, except in fishes or except in aquatic vertebrates, all the terrestrial vertebrates do contain the lungs as their respiratory surface. Amphibian group is a special group which live their first half of life in water and the second stage in terrestrial area. So the amphibians like the frogs, the salamanders, when they present in watery surface or in water, or when they spend their first half of their life in water, they have gills as their respiratory organ, and the second half of their uh, life cycle replaced by, or the gills are replaced by the lungs. And they also have moist skin like structure, means when they are matured to live in terrestrial surface, they all frequently or they oftenly live in the watery area. So they do contain the moist skin, and the respiration process or the diffusion of the oxygen and carbon dioxide also happens in their body, or also occurs in their body via the simple diffusion process by their moist skin. So thank you so much for today's session. We will meet in next session.